What is going on, everyone? My name's Boit, and I'm back with some more Age of Mythology, the Titans action, spawning in the blue color, playing as Isis. His name is Kimo. His opponent today in the red color, playing as Hades. His name is Nullus. The map is Gold Rush. Yes, I love Gold Rush, and we get to see the ultimate defensive god versus one of the more spicy, aggressive gods. This is more of a map controlling god, so to speak, with Isis. She's a very, very strong at controlling one area of the map. And guess what map this is good for? Well, Gold Rush is the map that this is good for. You get to spam those migdols down. You got that prosperity to give yourself a ton of gold to make it work. And you can control that middle and make things really, really difficult. This is going to be interesting. Now, I'm going to say this, and I've said this quite a few times. A lot of players here, when we added this map into the map pool, this was a 100% unanimously approved map. This Gold Rush is a map which really makes for a different type of game, which I think when it comes to RTS games, and Age of Mythology in particular, one of the things that gets well, not actually Age of Mythology in particular. When it comes to RTS games, one of the things that gets boring really, really quickly is playing the same game over and over again. And one of the things that definitely drew me to Age of Mythology in a big way super early was the fact that every single time I played a random map game, it felt like I was playing a completely different game. Now, the longer you play Age of Mythology, the more you realize that a lot of the maps are really, really similar. So it is really important that we get these types of maps into the map pool. And I hope this is the case for Retold, where you have a wide variety of maps so that you can have those different types of games. And it's not just playing the same strategy every single game with no kind of care for what the game is actually giving you. I don't know if I introduced Nullus or not. Nullus, Hades, red player. I'm having a struggle. Anyways, this map, super open, but there's not really much to be done early game. This changes the whole thing because you get fast second town center can grab you this position here and you can get some hunt on that one over here as well with the bears there. But you can get this. You have a ton of cows as well. So there's a lot of defensive ideas here early where everything culminates around that 14 to 15 minute mark where the gold mines start being really, really difficult to get. Now, with that being said, if you're playing against a player that knows this and is trying to abuse this, what do you do? Well, guess what you can do? You can leave this gold mine in your base and say, bye-bye. I'm not going to mine that until later. And guess what you're going to do? You're going to come out to this position here and mine this gold mine. And what does that do? That gives you an extra 2 minutes, an extra 3 minutes, an extra 4 minutes of gold to offset that timing that your opponent is trying to hit to get a gold starve on you, which can mean the difference between winning a game and losing a game. So there ends up becoming some serious strategic decisions on this map, which I think might be a little bit too deep for the average Age of Mythology, the Titans top player. Because whenever I go into Twitch chat, they say this map's bad. And I don't understand it. Anyways, we'll see how it's going to go. Kimo's getting up his obelisk. We do see the Katoskopos is going to get a little bit harassed here. Katoskopos doesn't win this fight. The priest has got 1.5 damage per second. The Katoskopos is kind of serrated wooden sword was swapped for a kind of blunt wooden sword, and now the priest can just walk away if he so chooses. But we'll see what's going to happen. As I imagine Nullus goes for a fast second town center here. Generally speaking, with like a 15-minute sort of timing attack. If your opponent goes for a fast second town center, you don't, and you can't get any damage done, your opponent's going to be ahead at that point. So you do have to kind of make that work, because we do see shingles are still... Excuse me. Yes. I don't know what I was saying. I just got distracted. Shingles are still. He's grabbed this one. Okay, so we'll see how he's going to go. We do have the second town center coming down. Kimo, on the other hand, is also going for the second town center. He sends a lot of villagers over here, though. there's not really anything wrong with sending this many villagers over here per se. It just gets the town center up a little bit faster. And thank you for the raiding party, Kavath. Appreciate you, my friend. There's nothing wrong with sending this many villagers over. It just means the town center costs a little bit more to get it up, right? Which is totally fine, because then you get the villagers out faster and as well, so you can kind of get that payment back, so to speak. So Kimo's going to have that one in. Cars Klein says, "Nihon kara kaite kita you desu ne." Yes, I am back from Japan. I had a month in Japan. It was very, very lovely. And yes, Japan. If you haven't been to Japan, I do recommend it. Very, very fun place to hang out. Burbers Burgers. Appreciate you, my friend. Thanks for the kind comment. But let's see what's going to happen here. As we do have the 4 town center up for Nullus. The town center is up for Kimo. Both players are going to be booming, so to speak. We see the armory coming through here as well for Kimo. And now the question becomes, what happens here for Nullus? And one thing here that Nullus is still doing is still mining the home gold mine, which I mean, obviously 2 villagers on this isn't the biggest of deals. It's going to go down really, really slowly. But I do want to see Nullus grabbing this gold mine first. This gold mine first and foremost. He does not need to worry about anything else. That's all. Basically, that's all he needs to worry about is when he starts gathering gold, get the gold in the center of the map. Don't get the gold in the main base. As we do have some houses around this town center here, as Nullus realizes this is a bit of a point of weakness. Very, very open. Very, very easy for the siege towers to roll in here and try and take this position out. And oftentimes, I think you can just kind of sack these locations against those sort of timing attacks and then just pull back after the Ancestors Eclipse is over with a Restoration and Curse, and you can actually find yourself in a decent position where that's concerned. As Kimo here, he is enjoying these berries a little bit too much here. I think Nullus is going to be kicking himself when he realizes what's going on here, because, wait, did he not get himself Chiron out? He has have Chiron in the center of the map, but he could be harassing over here. And he's going to be, yeah, this is definitely the spot where Chiron should be. The Minotaur checks this out, and, I mean, yes, the Chiron can come in, swoop in, and deal with this nice and fast, but Nullus should definitely be getting some damage done. Isis, who doesn't get touched on her food, if she doesn't get touched on her food, she's going to be really, really enjoying her game. Berries or cows or chickens or anything like that, if you can push your opponent off of those, it really, really hurts the Isis player in a huge way. And I think Nullus is letting Kimo have what he wants here at the moment. As we'll see if what Nullus' plan is here. As he's starting to get the stables up, we do see a 3rd town center. Now, this town center is maybe a little bit overzealous in this matchup, is my guess. It does mean that now Nullus has got another point here that he can just drop back onto, but I wouldn't have minded to see more of a 2 town center semi-fast heroic full army kind of idea and then get the town center up, or something like that. But Nullus not going for it just yet, and Kimo here. He is up through net for these at the moment. Monument coming up on this town center as well. Prosperity coming down. So he's going to be getting a lot of gold in. And here's the thing. If Nullus actually started producing from these military buildings, he could be sitting out here to prevent any sort of Migdol strongholds from getting placed onto this spot or onto this spot really quickly, putting some heavy pressure on, because that's definitely where Kimo is going to be wanting to do that. Thank you for the 15 months, Viper! Hail to the Viper! Not the Viper from AoE 2, the much more good-looking Viper from Australia. All right. We'll see if what Kimo is going to do here. He does go for the Migdol stronghold. It is slightly out of line of sight of this gold mine, so he should be able to get it up, especially because Nullus here, he is playing for a slightly slower idea at the moment. Just going to be trying to defend here. And the problem I'm seeing here, and this is definitely something that I don't think that Nullus needed to be doing. I don't think Nullus needed to be on this gold mine. or on these cows over here. Could have been on this gold mine and having these villagers on these cows, and it would have been a much, much more sensible idea here, because there's no raids possible for Kimo until around about I would guess the 11-minute mark. That's my guess here, is the villagers starting to come over. We've got the siege works coming up, and then those villagers can just retreat back into the main base and start mining that gold mine there. As the Chiron coming over to try and harass some of these units over here. Chiron a little bit, very much out of position here, sacking that one in a big way. As the Pharaoh getting caught out of position there, Chiron does go down. Minotaur also down. Actually, Chiron's 11 HP, so might be able to utilize that restoration to help out there. As Nullus is trying to go up to full population here. He's got all these military buildings up. He's trying to protect his base here as best as possible. But it is a very, very open map, as we do. We did kind of recognize early here, but he's trying to get across here, utilizing these buildings here as best as he can. And this is going to be a big help for him to try and defend, as he also surrounds this gold mine here. Moving forward, Kimo here, he's got himself 2 monuments, so he will be able to make those Scorpion Men. So double Scorpion Men already out. I wouldn't mind seeing that 3rd Scorpion Man. Idea being, Ancestor Eclipse timing a push will be bolstered with that 3rd Scorpion Man. The Sphinx as well, going to be a big, big help. And that's going to get a whole lot more damage done, as the army of Nullus looking to kind of engage, but he really doesn't need to. He's been on 3 town centers for a little bit. He needs to kind of prevent the Kimo army from marching forward, is your big problem to overcome for the ISIS, and goal here in the defense for Nullus as he tries to spot this army out. Chiron is back in to try and take out some of these units here. If Nullus can get a good engagement on here on the defense, he can just retreat away, which is exactly what he's going to have happen here. Kimo drops the Ancestor Eclipse really far away from Nullus's base. Nullus is trying to get these walls up. He's a little bit slow on it, but he will be able to retreat through these walls as he pulls back into his main base. Just a couple more to get through here, as he doesn't quite get them all up, as the army going to push in, but the Chiron can turn around and potentially take out these myth units. The Sphinx searching around here, and now Kimo's going to be potentially going after this town. So Nullus has got a lot of resources in the bank here, as the minions are checking this one out, and with Nullus having this gold mine secured with walls at the moment, that is gigantic here. Kimo's Ancestor Eclipse, only 20 seconds remaining, as the wall going to get taken down over here, breaking through to try and take out Nullus's town center at the moment. But will Nullus be able to hold here? He does come in and prevent those siege towers from getting in, but the Ancestor's going to get a little bit damaged. Plus, those Scorpion Men, they're still really, really strong here with the Eclipse remaining for 5 more seconds. As the Hippocon going to retreat back here, he can swoop around and try and take out the Chariot Archers here as well, if he so chooses. But he definitely is in a little bit of a challenging position. He does have Restoration remaining here, which is going to be a big, big help, as the Chiron going to get targeted down here by the Chariot Archers. No micro there from Nullus to help him out on that position there either. Restoration has to be coming down here for Nullus, as he does manage to do so. Kimo going to be retreating back here, and Nullus now has clicked up through Aphrodite. He's defended for the time being, and Kimo's on the back foot. Great hold here from Nullus. Kimo's blown everything that he's got and is losing units on the retreat path, as he can't really take this fight, I guess, as he's starting to make some of those spearmen out as well. Farms coming down all around the map as well here, as more barracks are getting thrown up there to help bolster this army. The question is now, with spearmen coming into the mix, at what point here does Nullus say, well, maybe I should build something not named Hippocon, maybe build something like the Hoplites? Or if he can just make it work, he can just make it work, especially with those stronger Hades Toxotes here. As the Ajax does get sniped down, those Scorpion Men are still doing a lot of damage here. You can see 15 HP here, 60 HP here. Aphrodite comes through, Curse gets dropped down. Kimo's 144 population, Nullus is at 145 population. Plenty of gold in the bank, plenty of wood in the bank. Wouldn't mind seeing a fortress get dropped down in the center of the map here either for Nullus. Nice and early here. I would normally say there isn't much of a rush, but because the army's all the way over on this left side of the map, doing something on the right side of the map makes a lot of sense here. As the Siege Towers of Kimo still trying to push forward. But Nullus here, he's actually got the resources to go Mythic Age as well. Kimo, on the other hand, he's a little bit behind on those resources, but he is getting up to full population, so his resources will start to skyrocket. As the Nemean Lion joining in is taking a little bit of damage from that Priest, but the Nemean Lion's got so much Pierce armor that it can be a little bit of a challenging unit to deal with for Egyptians. But with the Pharaoh involved as well, that's going to be a bit of a different story there. Good micro from Nullus to pull those chariots away there. But Kimo on his game there does notice that one. As Nullus is going to be attempting to push back here as well. And we'll see. As Nullus is going Mythic Age, he is going Mythic Age through Hephaestus. Now, you can't really go for Artemis against Isis. Good Isis players will generally have Monument here, and a Monument over here. And you can see that one coming up. So Kimo's being very smart about that. But what Artemis can do here for Nullus is nuke the center of the map where all the gold is, pick up a whole bunch of buildings here, and potentially get some of those Chimera raids in to really break up those chariot archers and hit raids in the center of the map. As we do see Kimo trying to push forward, trying to claim the center here. Migdol Stronghold coming up on the front. We'll see if Nullus has got the time here to make use of this Hephaestus. Again, still no real security of this gold mine. I still would have liked to have seen a fortress coming up. These Mythic Age kind of timings that work on maps like, I don't know, Watering Hole or even Frozen Wastes to some degree, like we saw in the last game, they can be a little bit more scary because the timing doesn't match up because all of those gold mines start expiring a little bit different times here. So we'll see if Nullus can make it work here. He's still a little bit low on the resources. Does have the favor to get himself his Forge of Olympus here. Kimo, on the other hand, he started the trade route, so holding that center of the map doesn't matter as much for him. He's going to be completely fine here, moving into the late game. As Nullus gets his Plenty Vault down, gets his Forge of Olympus coming through as well. And still no fortified town centers, but he's retreating back here into and under his town center as the Colossus going to come in. That's going to be a big help to take out those siege towers here as well for Nullus moving forward, as the Migdol Stronghold does end up getting initially targeted down, ignoring those siege towers. A little bit surprised to see that because this has got, there's no units in Nullus's army right now that can deal with these siege towers easily, except for the Colossus. But he might be able to take out that Migdol Stronghold nonetheless here, as the stable's getting cleaned up. More siege towers coming through to start targeting down the town center of Nullus. Nullus definitely on the back foot for the time being, but slowly but surely he will start to catch up here. Kimo does nearly have full bronze as well. He's getting himself that bronze mail. No focus on the Mythic Age just yet, as the village is popping out of the town center here in an attempt to defend here. They do have bonus damage versus siege towers, so it is a big help for them moving forward. As the Colossus slowly but surely getting taken out here. Nullus still not going to be grabbing himself that fortified town. He's instead going for iron shields here to help in a big way against those heavy chariots here, as the villagers need to come back, start shanking down the siege towers. Yet again, he does manage to pick off the siege tower there as the Colossus ends up going down on the back here. With Nullus in the center of the map here, Kimo needs to be thinking, mate, you can't win if you don't have gold. So let me hit this with a couple of units and cause some problems over there. Or at the very least, Migdol Stronghold right in the center here to control all three of these gold mines. Right here would be a great place there for that Migdol Stronghold. But Kimo here not having the resources to do that just yet. Enjoying his population advantage for the time being, as no fortified town centers in for Nullus. And also the Isis bonus as well, as we do see a fortress coming up on this spot to hold here, as another siege tower coming through to target down the town center, as villagers could probably make their way over here. Nullus at this point here doesn't actually have himself copper weapons just yet. He's kind of skipped out on that one, so to speak. But he is barely holding on here in this game, and I think he's got to realize at the moment he's kind of getting away with murder being on this gold mine right now. And what is Kimo thinking not being over there is my big question. Mercenary now starting to come in as well. Those That's gold that he could be sinking into a Migdol over here. But it will help him with the push as Tower's now starting to come up to take this town center out. Do we see Nullus starting a trade route? Yes, we do. So he will have some gold in the tank nonetheless here as the town center getting closer and closer to falling. Nullus pulling the villagers out, trying to shank down that low HP siege tower as it looks like it's getting close to falling here. One more attack. It's down to 59 HP as another siege tower coming in, but the path block coming through there for Nullus barely manages to hold that one. Fortified town centers just about to come through. We do see a little bit of a raid now onto this gold mine, but now Nullus has pushed off all of the gold, and now he has to bring a whole bunch of villagers to keep this town center alive. Fortified town centers is going to be close to coming in as those siege towers rolling through. Villagers popping through to shank down the siege tower here, down to 30 HP. Fortified town centers doesn't come through in time, just barely not managing to get that one in there for Nullus. As Kimo now up 2 town center, or up 1 town center, I should say. The gold mine is getting harassed over here. Nullus' trade route, not the best just yet, but he does have, probably does have the Hades Unique Tech Vaults of Erebus. He's got a trade route and he's got a plenty vault, so he's still going to be getting some gold income nonetheless moving forward in this game. So we'll see how it's all going to go as the siege tower is getting cleaned up. Toxody's trying to get some damage done from afar. Good micro from Nullus to not target down those siege towers on the front here. As more siege works coming up on this spot. Kimo, on the other hand, he's going up through Osiris. This is scary for Nullus as he loses a villager over here. And imagine right now, had Nullus mine this forward gold mine and this gold mine here as well first, he would have both of those medium gold mines in his base remaining to be jumping back onto at this point and being able to stay alive in a much, much better way. Nonetheless, powers are up now for Kimo. And Nullus is on the back foot here. What is the next plan? How can Nullus get himself back into this game? Selling resources. He's only got 24 villagers on food, 16 on wood. So he's got very, very few amounts of villagers remaining gathering. A couple of villagers do manage to get onto those farms there in wood as well. But also the trade route, very, very weak going into this town center here as well. From over onto this town center actually. And Kimo's army so strong. Not only that, Kimo Mythic Age just about to hit at 90% here as the siege tower is turning around to, I mean, he could move over and try and take out the fortress, to be honest, and then start putting some pressure onto this, but the towers are already up. This position is well and truly controlled by Kimo here, and Nullus in this position does decide to tap out. Nullus was pretty close to actually holding and winning this game, I would say. I think the thing here that the mistake Nullus made was probably going for Hephaestus. If he stays Heroic Age here, get some fortresses up in the middle, and maybe get some upgrades, or at the very least goes Artemis here with the idea of earthquaking this middle here, getting at those Chimera and playing for more of a center approach here, and then maybe trying to get the trade route side and all the other good stuff. But I think Hephaestus is just a little bit too slow here in this game. Yeah, you can see he's got himself up to full, nearly full iron here, which is missing those iron weapons and mail. But on the counterpart here, Kimo's also got full bronze, so it's not like he's in front on armor here, and he's just behind on population by not getting those fortified town centers in and all that other stuff. So even though he's got a slight tech advantage, it's not going to be enough to save him here. Also making some mistakes going after this Migdol stronghold with that Colossus. If he just takes the Colossus to kill off those siege towers, yes, they've got 89% crush armor, but 50 crush, taking that 89%, you're still doing 5 crush a second, plus the 20 hack damage a second. So you are taking those siege towers down very, very quickly. But in the end here, Kimo a little bit too strong, and I think the understanding of how to play Greek versus Egyptian, especially Isis on this map, still has a little bit of work to do. I love the wall set up here from Nullus. I think this was really, really smart, especially controlling this gold mine here. And with that being the case, it's even more of a reason to be out there on that gold mine nice and early, because you know your opponent's going for a fast rogue, especially with the Katoskopos to scout things out. If you see barracks, obviously you can stay in your main base, but that's generally not going to happen on this map. Anyways, if you guys enjoyed this one, please consider hitting the follow on the Twitch. If you're on the YouTube, hit that subscribe button, and I'll see you guys in the next game.